Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the University of Bergen, it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to this year's announcement of the Holberg and Nils Klim Prize. In both places, I was struck by how often conversations centered on the value of the humanities. This reflection is made by the president of Harvard and professor of history, Dr. Drew Faust, following meetings in London and at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Struck because she didn't expect the value of the humanities being at the center of these discussions. Her reflections refer to the role of the values of the humanities in society, but I dare to suggest that it also applies to the social sciences, law and theology, the very academic disciplines covered by the Holberg and Nils Klim Prize. These scholarly disciplines provide us with a different set of lenses through which we can observe, interpret and understand human behavior and social interaction. This was also emphasized in a governmental white paper on the humanities here in Norway last year. The academic disciplines celebrated by the Holberg and Nils Klim Prize seek to understand the fundamentals of humanity and social structures, but also impact our everyday life and inform policy development. Global climate change, large-scale migration, disruptive technologies, fragile democracies, well, they all call for a thorough understanding of identity, values, religion, culture, ethics, languages, to name a few. Evaluating the EU's research program Horizon 2020, it has become evident that one hasn't really succeeded in embedding, including the humanities, social sciences, to sufficiently address the pressing societal challenges of our time. The same, I assume, is valid for law and theology. This deficiency needs to be corrected when EU designs the next research programme. When the Norwegian Parliament, Stortinget, established the Ludvig Holberg Memorial Fund in 2003, the goal was to raise the status of these academic disciplines. Since then, it has been the privilege for our university to host these highly recognized and prestigious prizes. After the first award was given in 2004, there have been a great many outstanding laureates that have been selected. This year's winners will be no exception to that. The awards and their laureates have sparked national as well as international debate and attention, which in turn has led to increased awareness of the importance of these fields and academic disciplines. And on the note of awareness, I'm happy to inform you about the Holberg Week, which will be held from June the 4th till June the 17th this year. The event is obviously open to everyone and will be an academic celebration in the spirit of Ludvig Holberg. But now, To announce this year's Holberg Prize and Nils Klim Prize awardees, I will give the floor to the chair of the Holberg Prize. Please welcome Professor Sigmund Grønmo.
Thank you, Professor Dag Rune Olsen, Rector of the University of Bergen. As the Rector pointed out, the Holberg Prize was established by the Norwegian Parliament in 2003. The prize is administered by the University of Bergen on behalf of the Norwegian Ministry of Education and Research. The university has appointed a board for the Holberg Prize, and every year the board awards 2 prizes in the academic fields of the arts and humanities, social science, law and theology. The main Holberg Prize and the Nils Klim Prize. The prizes are awarded by the board on behalf of the University of Bergen and on the recommendation of academic committees, which consist of outstanding scholars in the fields covered by the prizes. The prizes are intended to raise the status of arts and humanities, social science, law and theology, and to increase society's awareness of the importance of research in these fields. And the formal award ceremony for the Holberg Prize and the Nils Klim Prize takes place in Bergen in June every year. This year's ceremony will be held in the University Aula on the 6th of June. The Nils Klim Prize is awarded annually to a young Nordic researcher in the academic fields covered by the Holberg Prize. The laureate must be under 35 years of age at the time of the nomination deadline. The prize is awarded to researchers who have made outstanding contributions either within one discipline or through interdisciplinary work. The independence and innovativeness of the researcher's work is particularly important. The committee also considers whether the research contributions are especially outstanding or promising in light of the researcher's age, the nature of the researcher's project, and the research traditions in the researcher's academic field. This year we have increased the value of the Nils Klim Prize from 300,000 to 500,000 Norwegian kroner, which is equivalent to 52,300 euros or $64,700 US. On behalf of the University of Bergen and on the recommendation of the Nils Klim Committee, the board of the Holberg Prize has decided that this year's Nils Klim Prize goes to Dr. Francesca Refsum Jensenius. Francesca Refsum Jensenius, born 1983, is a Norwegian scholar in the field of political science. Her major research areas are comparative politics, comparative political economy, and research methods with a regional focus on South Asia and Latin America. Jensenius has a bachelor's degree from the University of Oslo, a master's degree from Duke University. In 2013, she completed her PhD at the University of California, Berkeley. Since then, she has been a senior research fellow at the Norwegian Institute of International Affairs, NUPI, in Oslo. From April this year, she will be affiliated with the University of Oslo as an associate professor of political science. She has been a visiting researcher at Warwick University in the UK, University of Los Andes in Colombia, and University of California, Berkeley in the US. I would now like to ask Professor Frans Gregersen to present the Academic Committee's citation of Francesca Refsum Jensenius and her contributions.
Every year, the competition for the Nils Klim Prize has become increasingly fierce. This year, the Nils Klim Committee had an impressive number of candidates to choose from. The committee has decided to recommend the Holberg Board Senior Research Fellow at the Norwegian Institute of International Affairs, NUPI, Francesca Jensenius, is awarded the Nils Klim Prize 2018. Francesca Jensenius fulfills all the criteria of the Nils Klim Prize to perfection. She's an outstanding political scientist whose main work originally focused on electoral systems in India. Today, her research spans several disciplines: development studies, gender studies, comparative legal institutions, and economic agency. She masters both qualitative and quantitative methods. Her publication record is impressive, including her 2017 book published with Oxford University Press and several peer-reviewed articles in high-profile journals. She has recently received prestigious grants for her work. The committee also wants to commend her for her willingness to share her data with others and for her many services to the profession. Jensenius studied at the University of Oslo, where she took her BA in social science, Duke University, the USA, where she took her MA in political science and studied Hindi, and she got her PhD from the University of California, Berkeley. She has held a Fulbright Fellowship, and she was awarded travel grants from, among other agencies, UC Berkeley and the American Scandinavia Foundation. Jensenius used this broad background to carry out very original studies integrating qualitative and quantitative political science methods in a sensitive exploration of what it means for the scheduled castes, formerly known as untouchables in India, to have reserved seats in parliament. She convincingly shows that the quota system, as it's called, is good for the perception of the caste, but it does not necessarily benefit the caste itself. The committee is impressed by the immense efforts put into establishing valid data, as well as the use of the conclusions to focus on much broader issues of high social relevance in her most recent research. Not only has Francesca Jensenius moved on from electoral systems to studying elites and gender themes in India, lately she has broadened her horizon to focus in her postdoctoral project on a comparative study of women's economic agency and legal regimes across continents. Furthermore, Jensenius is an accomplished writer with an ability to handle complex theories as well as empirical data with the same clarity and elegance. Her career seems to be ideally suited as a role model for younger researchers.
Thank you, Professor Frans Gregersen, Chair of the Nils Klim Committee. The Holberg Prize is awarded annually to scholars who have made outstanding contributions to research in the arts and humanities, social science, law, or theology, either within one discipline or through interdisciplinary work. The laureate must have had a decisive influence on international research. This year we have increased the value of the prize from 4.5 million to 6 million Norwegian kroner, which is approximately 627,300 euros or $775,900 US. On behalf of the University of Bergen and on the recommendation of the Holberg Committee, The board of the Holberg Prize has decided that this year's Holberg Prize goes to Professor Cass Sunstein. Cass Sunstein, born 1954, is an American legal scholar and currently the Robert Walmsley University Professor at Harvard University, where he is the founder and director of the program on behavioral economics and public policy. In 1978, he received the Doctor of Jurisprudence degree from Harvard Law School. In 1980, he became affiliated with the University of Chicago, first as an assistant professor, from 1985 as a full professor of both law and political science, and from 1993 as the Carl N. Llewellyn Distinguished Service Professor of Jurisprudence. In 2008, he moved to Harvard Law School, where he became the director of the program on risk regulation. From 2009 to 2012, he was the head of the White House Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs. Sunstein is a corresponding fellow of the British Academy. I would like to ask Professor Pratap Banu Mehta to present the academic committee's citation of Cass Sunstein and his scholarly contributions.
Cass Sunstein is one of the most wide-ranging, original, prolific, and influential scholars of our time. His work has redefined several academic fields, and the practical applications of his research have had far-reaching impact on public policy. His major books on American constitutional law, After the Rights Revolution and The Partial Constitution, have significantly shaped our understanding of the relationship between the modern regulatory state and constitutional law. These books provide a sophisticated set of tools to understand the ways in which constitutional ideals can be reworked and defended in the face of challenges posed by the rise of the administrative state. In several works on American law, he powerfully rescues a deliberative ideal of constitutionalism and defends it against the reductionism of law in economics and public choice theory. He finds innovative ways to bridge the gap between our deliberative ideals and the demands of efficiency. These concerns also lie behind Sunstein's outstanding contribution to administrative law. In a series of books, The Cost-Benefit State, Risk and Reason, and The Laws of Fear, Sunstein shows the ways in which cost-benefit analysis can discipline regulatory agencies. For Sunstein, cost-benefit analysis is not an arid exercise about efficiency. It is a means to ensure that state agencies take into account the effects of their regulation on all citizens. By deftly combining cost-benefit analysis with insights drawn from a number of disciplines, psychology, economics, and political science, he redefines the ways in which we think of harm and provides novel ways of remedying them. This influential body of work reshapes our thinking on some of the most pressing problems of our time, from climate change to health issues. Sunstein's work is animated by a profound sense of the ways in which human behavior poses a challenge for regulation. He deepens our understanding of these challenges by incorporating insights from the behavioral revolution and re-energizing the field of behavioral economics and law. While there have been many other contributors to this field, including Richard Thaler, his co-author on Nudge, Sunstein's ability to bring together behavioral economics with a deep understanding of democracy, law, and the functioning of institutions has far-reaching impact. From 2009 to 2012, he served as head of the White House Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs in the United States government. Through 48 books and hundreds of scholarly articles, Sunstein has transformed our understanding of so many important topics. In addition to his contribution to academics, Sunstein has also mastered the art of communicating difficult, important ideas to the public. Through his many articles of opinion and commentary in the press, media interviews, and public presentations, he has been a most influential, eloquent, and productive participant in public debate. Sunstein is one of those rare scholars who anticipate challenges of the future at every turn. He was one of the first scholars to think about the ways in which communities of discourse in a digital age might impact democracy. In so doing, he redefines our ideas of how the public sphere operates. In addition, he has made brilliant and decisive contributions to a number of questions: the ways in which biases might affect judges, same-sex marriage, affirmative action, the future of animal rights, and the new challenges of speech regulation. His work is interdisciplinary in every sense. It is rigorous yet accessible and marked by an extraordinary concern for human welfare. His towering scholarship, policy advocacy, his constant search for workable solutions, his refusal to give in to defeatism in the face of political and administrative complexity, and his commitment to an enlightened public discourse make him one of the great intellectuals of our time.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Pratap Banumeta, Chair of the Holberg Committee. I would like to remind you that the award ceremonies and several other events related to the Holberg Prize will take place here in Bergen on the 4th, 5th and 6th of June, and in Oslo on the 7th of June. Let me also express our great gratitude to the brass trio participating in the event this morning. They started our program with La Réjouissance from Music for the Royal Fireworks by Georg Friedrich Händel, and they will now end the program with Jägerchor from the opera Der Freischütz by Carl Maria von Weber. Both pieces are arranged for brass trio by Emil Christiansen Børre, who plays the trumpet in the trio. The other musicians are Torbjørn Karlsen on horn and Joar Haugen Lemme on trombone. Thank you all for watching this event on our website around the world, or for coming here to the University of Bergen Library this morning. Thank you very much, and please help me welcome the brass trio.
Thank you.